onto something. I think what you're saying is absolutely true, though, that it's not us versus them. It's the top versus the bottom.
And I don't know if everyone is fully awake to that we're getting played.
I don't think people are, and I think you saying it is very important.
If we recognize that we have far more in common than the stuff that divides us, then that's a threat to their power. It's a threat to their wealth. That unity, that loving your enemy is not just morally good. It's not just idealistic. It is good strategic advice.
That's part of the problem, is that the people that are in power want to stay in power. And the best way to stay in power is to enrich the other people around you that are like you and create laws and create a structure that allows you to maintain ridiculous wealth and suppress competition.
And divide everyone to keep them distracted. This is my personal, what happens if we actually loved our enemies, if we rebuilt these relationships? Like, who could we take on if we did it together? Democrats and Republicans, conservatives and progressives. You know, I think about, there was a colleague, I hope he doesn't mind me mentioning him on here. His name is James Frank, out of Wichita Falls, very, very conservative Republican. And he and I met when I got elected, and we bonded over the stupidest thing, which is that we both have the same first name, right? Like, that's, when you meet someone, like, that's, sometimes you go off of like the most superficial basis to create a friendship.
James is a really common one.
I know.
That's his joke.
But I remember we started this joke of like, we're the James Caucus and you're vice chair, blah, 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 right? It was a stupid basis for a friendship, but it was a basis. And from there, he started like come back to where I sat on the floor. And like when things were slow, he would just come kind of sit and shoot the shit. And he would say like, he would reveal some of the interesting, non-orthodox views that he has about politics, which then gave me an opening to kind of express some of my dissatisfactions with this political system in both parties and the way it forces us into tribes, all that stuff. Anyway, all those conversations really created an actual friendship, and I consider James an actual friend. And then what got interesting is how we took that friendship into public policy, because I think it was 2 sessions ago, James had a bill that all the Democrats hated, including me. I hated the bill too. It was a bill to allow homeschool kids to participate in UIL. Now, I know you have...
What is UIL?
Yeah, I was going to say, that is basically school sports in Texas. It's like the sports league. And as you know, sports are very,
Why did you
very
not
important.
Like that?
Well, my concern was that the public education system is not a buffet table, right? Where you can just come and say, I want to do the sports, but I don't want to participate in the actual school or the academics, the life of the school. I didn't want it to become this fragmented thing that everyone could just pick apart and just do the fun stuff. That was my first reaction. James sat down with me, which right there, a Republican coming to a Democrat and like actually having a private conversation about a bill, that doesn't happen enough, and it should. Because when he sat me down, he was able to use all the conversations we'd had to talk about this policy. And he said something to me that just blew my mind. He said, James, whenever we talk about immigration, you always say, don't punish kids for the decisions their parents make.
There you go.
Right. And immediately I was kind of first embarrassed and ashamed, right? That's our natural reaction when we're wrong. But I was like, James, he's absolutely right. Like these kids didn't decide to be homeschooled. This may be their only opportunity to interact with kids their own age in a public school setting. This, the opportunity to do UIL football or choir or theater or debate, like this could be a door that opens for these kids.